7th, man. It's the 7th already. Happy Pride Month. I'm Krista.
And I'm Liz.
We are your Loco Sirens. And this week we have a very special guest. We have Mike Harbour.
Hey, everybody.
Woo!
Finally got him on.
Yes.
Yes. We've only been trying since March.
Sorry about that.
I
I
barely have a
know.
life.
We're
No, I don't.
late.
I really don't have a life.
Well, we're very happy that we have you on here. We've been trying for a while. We're very honored.
And, the honor is all mine.
Aw.
Oh, you're sweet.
All right, Lizzie, do you want to get into the topic of the day?
Yes. Well, first off, we're gonna introduce our special guest, Mighty Mike Harbour. He is the occasional co-host of Sunny, who was our guest last week, Codex podcast on Wednesdays.
Yep.
They talk about pop culture. They do F list, as we learned last week. Have all sorts of conversations. It's a really great podcast. You should check it out at the Codex station. He is also one of the owners of Comic Logic.
Yes.
And we are just, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, Mike?
Oh, let's see. I'm a bean counter by day, comic book shop owner by night. You know, I tear off my mask. And go in, so. The comic shop owner is what I really want to be. The bean counter is what I just have to do to pay all my comics.
Yeah.
So, totally can relate.
Yeah, I've been collecting comics since I was a little kid. Not to the extent that Uncle Gary does,
Mm-hmm.
which nobody really has. Maybe a few people in the world, but just love surrounding myself with the pulp and the paper and the written word, and just all the great things that comics have to offer to everybody. I think it's the greatest medium out there, because if you can't find something to interest you, it's your own damn fault, because we all know that there's something for everybody.
100%.
Yeah.
There really is something, I think, for everybody, from children all the way up to, speaking of Pride Month, I think that the LGBTQ plus community is very well represented in comics these days.
Right now, for sure.
Even with the thing about boycott DC, I think that there is very strong representation in comics now of people, of minorities, people of color. And I think that's wonderful. I think that there are just, stories that make the sappy, want to read high school stuff, Archie people, all the way to hardcore horror, And I think that's, like Mike was just saying, something for everybody in the comic world right now. It's a wonderful time to be a comic reader.
Totally.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
All right. So does that segue us right into our top 5 of the week? I think it kind of does, right? Because it's a great intro, Mike.
No,
Letting everybody, know who you are. People who see your face at Lock On,
I'm around everywhere, it seems.
Yes. Yes. All right. Who's up first?
So let's have our special guest go first.
Yes.
All right.
Mike, why don't you go first for us tonight?
Okay. So my first pick of the week is issue number 13 of Exquisite Corpses, which completes the first run of the storyline. So they ended up with a cliffhanger at the end that sets it up for season 2, which anybody who people know me know that my favorite writer is James Tynion. And I worship at the feet of Something's Killing the Children. So, which is my number one book that I have. It's only 46 issues, but somehow I have 300 copies. I don't quite understand it,
It's like my Catwoman collection.
Yeah.
My second book is this week's issue of the JSA,
Ooh.
Nice.
Spectre, Wrath of the Spectre. So anybody who is old school knows the Spectre is the vengeance hand of God, and he's back and he's causing hilarity to ensue. So a lot of us old school guys, Gary, myself, Chris Schwartzlander, um, really the JSA is a comic that we all keep and cherish, going back to the golden age.
Weren't they the first team? Like, don't
Uh,
they don't do they predate the Justice League?
yes, they do.
I
Yeah.
thought so.
So yeah. Um, don't know if because I missed 2 weeks, I had a short stack in my book. Um, my other favorite superhero is the Sentry. So
Yeah.
uh,
Ooh.
Bob the Sentry is one of my favorite superheroes. He's the some would argue he is the strongest superhero out there. He's defeated the Hulk. He's defeated many superheroes and such, and that's we came back for a limited series on issue number 3. So really enjoying that book if anybody's reading it.
He
Nice.
also got featured in the movie. Sorry, Krista, I didn't mean to cut you off. He did
Yeah,
get featured in the Thunderbolts movie as well. Did he? Did he not?
he did. I still have not seen the Thunderbolts movie.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Mike, we're gonna have a movie night.
Okay.
I'm
I mean-
actually being very serious. I would love to watch it with you.
Okay. Sweet. Let's do it.
All right, I got it on camera.
All right. There you go. For posterity. Anything that lives on the internet, stays forever and ever
it's
and ever.
forever and ever.
I'm also enjoying the new Matt Fraction Batman, issue number 10 in the story arc. Really good. Really good story. So what can you say about the Batman that, can already be said?
Perfect.
And this, I know that I'm going to probably be jumping format here, but there was a new book this week by Dark Horse Comics called The Ring.
Yes.
Ooh.
Anyone who
Oh,
knows me also knows that my favorite writer and light of my life is Gail Simone. So I got to work with her at All Star Comic Con 1 year for 2 days as her handler. Her and her husband Scott. So I've got a short box full of autographed books from Gail,
nice.
and I'll tell you a little secret that she follows Comic Logic on Facebook, and one day it is my hope that we will get her into our little humble store as a guest
Oh,
writer, and
Me too.
me
everybody
too.
so
Me too.
that concludes my 5 books of the week.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to actually, start a conversation about one of them.
Please.
Since one of them appears on all 3 of our lists. So why don't we go ahead and talk about it now, which is the Batman number 10.
I had a feeling this
It is on all 3 of our lists. I personally loved, I'm going to go back to our little, while we talk about this, I loved the tie-in with what's going on with Babs. I loved the little rooftop thing between him and Selena, right? I just love this whole setup towards this. This is one of the first times that I'm like excited about one of these crossover events.
Yeah.
Right? This Bad Seed. I'm really loving how they've taken this story. I like Vandal Savage and, this whole idea that he knows that Bruce is Batman. And rather than let him take the mansion, they put up, no, these are all back issues, folks, not really any spoilers. But I really loved how this issue was kind of an accumulation of everything that we've read so far, right? And we
Yeah.
know there's a game afoot. And I'm just dying to see where that game is going. Do you two agree?
Yes. The like slow burn of it has been really, really good.
100.
Yeah, the Barbara Gordon tie-in. I'm very interested. She's one of my favorite characters,
Same.
and I'm not sure if I like her more as Oracle or if I like her more as Batgirl. It's kind of a toss-up. I mean, she's did so much great work as Oracle
Mhm.
and so many great stories, especially through the whole Birds of Prey
Mhm.
run. So it's a toss-up there in the way they've integrated that into this storyline and how they've kind of put the Bat family kind of in the background on notice. They're like just
Mhm.
waiting to see how this whole thing is going to play out. So,
Yes,
um,
what they kept saying throughout the whole comic this week, stick to the plan.
and yeah,
Yep.
stick to
And how hard that is for this family.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right?
especially
Yep.
several of them who have plans of their own. You're talking
Exactly.
Damien, who doesn't listen to anybody. You know,
You nailed that on the head.
Yeah.
Jason as well.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Nightwing is always out there doing good for everybody. So
Right. And I think what I really love, and I did have a big gap where I wasn't reading any comics, but I feel at least for the first time since like the 90s cataclysm that happened in Gotham, which was,
oh, what a
like an
great book.
epic. It was so good. But for the first time, we have a completely interconnected Gotham,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It used to drive me crazy a couple years ago, and even up partially through last year, that whatever was happening in Harley wasn't happening in Poison Ivy, even if Poison Ivy was featured in Harley. Same with Catwoman. If Batman happened to, or Nightwing or any of the other Bat family or Oracle, anybody appeared in her title, it was not even acknowledged in any of the others. And for the
Mhm.
first time, I feel like what's happening in one is happening in all. And even though the other characters might not be mentioned in each title, in a per issue, right? You still have that over connected ness between them all. All of them, Poison Ivy is mayor. In all of them, Vandal Savage has, taken over the GCPD as commissioner, and now he's doing this hunt for vigilantes. And even in this last one, they made a mention very, very briefly about just kind of like what's going on with Harley. That was kind of,
Yep.
do you know what I mean? Even
Mhm.
acknowledging the crazy stuff that's going on in her title. So to the point where there's something happening in Catwoman's title that it made me wonder if that was actually Catwoman that he
Mm.
did the little standoff with because of what's going on in her title, right?
Okay.
That there's somebody else wearing her suit, right?
Mhm. Right.
Um,
Interesting.
anyway, but I just love how I have that feeling that I don't necessarily have to be reading all of the titles, but they all, because like I'm not reading Robin or Nightwing or any of those, but they still feel like they're all connected under one big umbrella story for the first time, at least since I picked back up reading comics on the regular basis.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, it's true. They, like the great scene I think in this book where Batman and Catwoman kind of square off, and they're just looking at each other from across the,
Mm-hmm.
and it's totally on character. Then they both go their own separate ways and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know that so much was said just in that look.
Without in that silence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're both that way. They speak with their eyes anyway.
Yeah.
100%.
They're both broody.
Yes. Totally.
So they just communicate that way.
If Dynamite ever lets them have the Buffy universe, throw Angel in there and you'd have like the ultimate broody trio.
That might be too powerful. That might be too
much brood.
Yeah. Too much brood.
Wow. Are you guys big Buffy fans?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm totally saddened by the death of Anthony Head. That
killed me.
It crushed me too. He was my favorite Frankenfurter outside of Tim Curry.
It's
I
reposted funny
that online.
Even before I knew who he was, before Buffy, he used to do the audiobooks for Star Wars.
Yes.
And way back in what they call the expanded universe now, he did all the audiobooks, and I have them all on cassette still. That's how I was first introduced to him, before I even saw him, before he became Buffy, and before, that time I didn't even really realize that he did Frankenfurter until I was reading some of his obituary stuff, and they were showing some pictures and different things like that. And I was a huge Rocky Horror fan as a,
I saw that too.
Yeah.
I did. I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's tough,
Yeah. Ted Lasso, very good in that.
Yeah. Sorry. Digress there.
No, please.
He was in Doctor Who as well.
He was?
He played like the principal of a school in like the 3rd episode with Tennant, I think.
Oh wow.
Oh,
yeah. Cool. He's like the principal of the school, and Sarah Jane and K9, I believe, make a cameo in that episode, if I recall.
Okay.
Really, really questioning my nerdism, because I'm almost positive he plays the like principal of the school that all the teachers are like giant like gargoyle monsters, but they can take on a human form, and the human form is Anthony Head.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah, it was a
great singing voice. He was in Repo the Genetic Opera, which is one of my favorite movies.
That is my daughter-in-law loves that movie, and I was just going to say that's what surprised me, and why I ended up watching, like, just devouring all of that I could find of his performance of Frankenfurter, because his singing voice in Sweet Transvestite really blew my mind. And I loved how he put his own inflections in it. He really made it his own. He didn't try to copy Tim, which you can't. I mean, that was an iconic, just an iconic performance, the Tim Curry. But and Anthony, kind of like Luke Evans is doing now in the current run on Broadway, totally didn't allow that to influence them at all. And Anthony made it his own, and his singing voice was just phenomenal. And I don't remember him singing in the singing episode. He must have.
He did. He had his own song.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, because it was one of my favorite episodes, and I was like, did he have a solo? No, he didn't. Did he? But yeah, I guess I have crappy memory. So anyway, all right. Well,
I looked it up. He was in that episode of Doctor Who I was talking about.
Okay, so with Tennant as
Tennant, it's episode 170. It's called School Reunion.
Okay.
And it had a cameo with Sarah Jane and K9, and he plays Mr. Finch, Principal Finch.
Okay. Principal Finch. Good to know. Definitely to add on the watch list for sure.
Definitely.
All right, Krista. I think we can go from that, which we can go back to that conversation in our pop culture section towards the end. But let's go into your top 5.
Already, in no particular order, but I am gonna go ahead and show one of my picks because it's the one that we have all been talking about. Was, of course, Batman 10. I love this cover. I love the
That's a great
coloring.
cover.
Gorgeous cover. Gorgeous cover. Hold on, I'm putting you big. There you
There you
go.
go. I love this cover
yeah,
so much.
absolutely. Who did that?
Oh my gosh, I had it written down. I don't remember their name.
Yeah, and I can't read it on there.
I know Jimenez does like majority of the art, and I'm obsessed with his art style.
His art is amazing.
That cover I thought was just so good.
Yep, I agree.
Alrighty, my next pick. Well, continuing on similarly, also from DC, I chose Harley and Ivy. Love and Crimes I believe it's number 6 this week.
Yeah, is the final.
I love this cover. I believe this was the C cover.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cute of them. And me and Gary were actually talking in the shop about how like gorgeous it is with them like kissing with the background, the background.
The blow up made a heart.
It did.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's so classic. It's so cute. And this whole comic has been like the early stages of their relationship and like coming together, and Clayface keeps like getting in the way and stuff, but it's showing like their first like hug, their first like holding on to each other, their first kiss. It's all very, very cute. So it's perfect for Pride Month as well. But I also they're my favorite couple.
Can't blame you.
I'm biased.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Next, I'm going to do The Devil in the Herd.
I'm looking forward to hearing about this.
This was so good. I love a good horror comic, and it's got a Western vibe to it. So, of course, it's going to be super fun. Also, in the shop, we took pictures of all the staff promoting their favorite comic of the week.
Mm-hmm.
This was Vince's take.
It was so good. I don't know what I like better, the horse or the red eyes.
I like how serious Vince's face is.
Yes, he really looks like a possessed devil. Somebody possessed Vince.
If you genuinely want anyone in the shop to commit to anything, Vince is always 110% committed.
You can tell.
So.
He was so game. Amazing.
And then I'm going to do from Marvel. I said It's Jeff, brand new week. It was super cute. It's always a good palate cleanser. Everyone loves Jeff. Mm-hmm. So that was just like a good one this week. And then for photos, guess who put Jeff as their top?
I wonder who.
Covered in Jeff's.
He literally is covered head to toe in Jeff's.
Especially the little one on top of his head.
Oh yeah.
And the one with the X-Men.
Yep.
Oh my God.
No one is happier than Rob with his Jeffs.
You can tell.
And then my personal top pick of the week was Only the Savage Are Left.
Oh yeah, that was good.
So good. I love a good survival story, and this was a really, really fun, interesting like outbreak survival.
Okay.
It has kind of the Last of Us kind of vibes to it.
Okay.
And it kind of reminds me of Savager from Ignition Press.
Okay.
As well. It's got that kind of vibe to it. And if you've read Savager, you'll understand. If you read the end of this, there's a lot of like correlation to it.
Right.
Okay.
And then this was our cover.
Look, this one was my favorite.
Yeah.
With like little me at the bottom. And his eyes are red again because I just surround myself
Yeah.
with scary monster boys, apparently.
You guys look like you had so much fun.
So it's a really hard job, you guys.
I can tell.
Oh, yeah. Rough. You have to read. You get to take great pictures and you work with a great group of people.
Yeah.
I know it's so horrible.
My heart's bleeding purple peanut butter for your hardship, darling.
I feel the support. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate this trying time for me.
Yes. And then you have to deal with all of us as we come in.
Oh my
No, it's
gosh.
so hard. I'm constantly surrounded by just people I don't like.
I know.
Talking about things I don't like.
It's so obvious.
So hard.
I know. I'm feeling for you, man. Can't you see the
little violin?
Smallest violin in the world.
So those are my top picks. My honorable mention, though, I'm going to throw in was Supergirl Survive, which is going to connect with a conversation we're going to have in a little bit. I don't have the cover of it, but it is my honorable mention because it is going to, I think it's going to be interesting. But I will show you the staff photo we did for it because it was John's pick.
Okay.
And this photo I'm very proud of.
Oh yeah, that's a great picture.
Yes.
I can relate, Fuzzy, about being partial to one coworker.
I hope
that is such a great. I love when you do these homage pictures to the comics. I just love it so much because you guys get so creative. So creative.
Rob in his natural state.
Rob, if you're watching, I didn't laugh at that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Never. I did. Sorry, Rob. It was funny. You know you're my bud anyway, you know. All right. Am I up?
Say, now it is all you.
It's all me.
All
right.
you,
Let
yes.
me switch one more time. Go whoop. There we go. All right. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on my first two because we've already talked about them ad nauseum. I am going to show off my Ryan Sook variant of Batman 10 because of course I had to get the variant that had Catwoman on it.
Nice.
And she was in it, so yay, it was totally worth it. I also picked Harley and Ivy's final. This has really been a cute run. Krista said a lot about it. This is the B cover, the lyrics cover. I really love this. But so I do have to give a shout out because did you notice who else was in this? Somebody that we talked about just last week.
Yep.
Ma Hunkle. This is why it's in my top.
Ma Hunkle is in there?
Ma Hunkle. And really? She was on our F list. Yes, she is. Yeah. She is in costume and out of costume.
She heard us talking about her.
There's a good one. There you go. Ma Hunkle in all her glory.
In all her glory. She can't be on the F list.
Now, they did not call her the Red Tornado because, of course, we have a Red Tornado now that is not Ma Hunkle. She was referred to as Ma Hunkle the whole issue, but it was great. It was great to see her after just having been talking. She was on our F list last week. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of ironic. It just made me chuckle.
Oh, that's funny.
Because, yeah, she technically hasn't been around since like 1949. So Poison Ivy 45, we were just talking about Batman when we were discussing Batman about how they're all interconnected. And this one is very much part of that. I'm showing off the Nubovich variant.
I love that cover.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this was definitely out of the three covers that I got. This was my favorite of the three, even though Ohms was really good of her in her mare power suit. Honorable mention. I'm not showing that, but this one was just I was saying that for a while Nubovich's art was kind of like, I'm not sure I want the variant. But then I think I did that for 2 issues, and then boom, they're knocking it out of the park again. And nobody draws plants better, in my opinion, than Yuvovich. That's one thing he really excels at, or they, not really sure their gender, so I'll say they, really excel at, is doing plant life with Ivy and blending it in well with her, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then I really liked how this one plays, I'm hoping plays very much into Harley's next, the end of the month, I think it comes out. Usually the last week of the month, I think Harley comes out. So I'm really hoping that that's the one person who can help Pam,
Mhm.
I would really like to see that. Don't know if I'm gonna, but
They're leaning that way.
yeah. Again, also what Krista had, and the only thing I'm saying is it had a Cthulhu. That was enough for me. Rob really talked this up to me in the store. I mean, not in a bullying way, but I kind of had to buy it after he talked it up, right? Not
He's
really,
really
again, he wasn't bullying like you have to buy this, but the way he was so enthusiastic about this, the way he talked about it on our show a couple weeks ago, the fact that it was written by Kelly Thompson and I had never looked at Jeff the Shark before, I chuckled my way through that whole comic. I mean, literally, it was one of those feel good, smiling all the way through. I love, well, I don't know whether it's a Cthulhu or a Kraken, but whatever it is, it's darling. And I love the little bowl.
So
The little travel bowl was just amazing.
The nice thing about Jeff the Land Shark is he doesn't talk, and
Right.
since he doesn't, it's almost like Grogu from Star Wars.
Yeah.
So since he doesn't talk whenever he's the main focus, there isn't a lot of dialogue. So it's just like a really easy kind of relaxing read. So it's for me, it's a good like palate cleanser. Like I know that it's gonna be so cute and it's gonna have a good story, a wholesome story, but it's not going to be way too deep or heavy. And again, there's not a lot of dialogue, so it's really relaxing to read.
But
so
yet,
I love whenever there's a Jeff comic.
Yes, and I was going to say there's not a lot of dialogue, but yet the tiny little sounds that these creatures are making.
Oh, there's sound effects for sure.
Perfect fit dialogue wise for.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I got it. Definitely in my top 5. Then next, again, another Marvel, the final issue of Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. They really wrapped this storyline up well. I know I'm like Anthem, I don't read X-Men or Uncanny X-Men. Like I know Rogue's story ended last month and her story is continuing in Uncanny X-Men. And I believe Storm's story is continuing in the regular X-Men.
Yes.
But these 2 standalone series were very, very, very good. I loved how it wrapped this up. I loved how it gave us snapshots of how every different universe and place in the world was impacted. I would definitely give it 4.5 stars as a series. The 5 issues as a whole. And the trade will probably come out in 2 or 3 months, and if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it. So because I only had 6 comics this week and I had a really hard time settling on which one I was going to throw out, and then when I saw that Krista and I had 3 duplicates and then Mike had one of those 3 duplicates, I decided for sure I was going to throw in the 6th comic that I got, which had not really it wasn't a comic per se. J. Scott Campbell's Just Spectacular collection.
Oh, okay.
And the art in this was just phenomenal. Speaking of Storm,
there's my girl.
I mean, and then Hulk. The Hulk is one of my favorites in this whole book.
Mm-hmm.
just some really, really beautiful. Here you go, Krista, just for you.
Yes, my
Dr.
Doom.
Doom. And look at the way he made that cape. Is you
Yeah,
can feel the flow of that
yeah.
cape. And as you can see a little bit on the side, he gives you his little step-by-step process.
I love the pencils. Yeah.
So
Me too.
yes, but then he gives you all of these characters. Let me see if I can find because it's worth it to see. Okay, so all of these characters were drawn individually so
Mhm.
that he could then put them all together for that.
Oh,
So
wow.
cool.
Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous?
I
So
love
this,
his version of magic.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. I like his version of Psylocke.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, his art is just gorgeous. I'm really glad I got this. It'll go really nicely with my Russell Dowderman collection, and because I have a hardback of his collection. So anyway, I'm just really glad that I got this. And if I happen to see him at a convention, I'm hoping to get it signed. And that's it for my comics. Before we go into our interview with our guest,
Whoa.
I wanted to do a honorable mention to the trade paperback that I just finished last night, which is Stepan Sajic's Harleen.
Yeah.
And you
Really
can see
good.
I've got little marks here because I'm really going to show off some stuff in this. That's the dust cover. I was reading it in my room with just the inner cover, and John looks at it in the bed. What on earth are you reading? But this story is probably one of the best takes of her origin story that I've ever read. And I say that with all respect to Paul Dini, and knowing that the character is actually based off an actress whose character was on a soap opera that I was watching live.
Arlene.
And Paul Dini was thinking in his mind that Calliope or Arlene Sorkin's Calliope Jones from Days of Our Lives would make a perfect mate for the Joker. So like I feel, even though she's not like Catwoman to me, I still feel like a connection to Harley. But the art in this, I really just have to show it off because so a couple of these pages, look at that. I
So
mean,
good.
it's
Wow.
just wow. This was the cover of issue number. There was 3 issues. It was a black label, but that's the cover of issue number 2, the A cover. And I just love his take on Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you don't get to see Harley as we know Harley in this very much, but she's having a nightmare when you get her first look. You first look at her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just wow. And then there's just a couple other things I wanted to show off. Harvey Dent. So like, I mean, this is the detail in the face. And then lastly,
Yeah.
And
That's
Ivy.
Poison Ivy. I mean, just stunning of Poison Ivy. And then last but not least, we finally get our full on one is the A cover, and then where we get our real look at her in her original costume.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I forced myself to only read one issue a night because they're actually pretty, they reminded me of the Drowned Earth of Aquaman's Black Label 3 issue and Wonder Woman Historia. You know, they're like 50, 60 pages
Right.
long versus the normal 36. And I really had to force myself to put it down and go to bed. It was so good. So if anybody hasn't read it, I would highly, highly recommend it once again.
Yep.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I figured it would be, being, you know, she's your girl.
She is my girl.
So anyway, that's it for me for my week.
Yay!
Yay! So, Mike, we're gonna put you on the hot seat now.
Sweet. Luckily, I'm not wearing pants, so it doesn't matter, you know.
Oh, good.
Good. Absolutely. Crystal,
Oh,
why don't you lead us off?
Sure. So we each came up with questions that we have to ask you.
Okay. The Inquisition. What
Yes.
a
What a show. Alrighty. So I'm going to start out with my question. So my first question is, what comic would you say had the biggest impact on you?
Oh, honestly, Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. As a kid, you know, that movie, like a lot of people of my age, when that movie came out, it kind of changed your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it encompassed everything about it. And you know, one of the little pieces of trivia is that the comic book came out a month before the movie did.
Yep.
So, the you know, it had the original 6 issues, which told the story, but then there was a 7th issue and an eighth issue and 9 and 10 and all the way up through 50 and such like that. And it really was. I collected books before. I was a military brat, and so you know, the military comics are a big thing for me as well. But when I got that, that really kind of set me on a collecting binge, you know, as a kid, you know, because at that time it was 1977. I'll age myself. I was 10 years old. So, you know, getting the first 3 comics in a poly bag. And did you buy any of the OG toys and get the cardboard cut out? Yes, I did. Yeah, I
Nice.
did get that.
Nice.
I got the cardboard cutout. I remember my first. Actually, they're sitting over there on the shelf. My first, I got Luke Skywalker, R2D2, and the Land Speeder. Those were the first 3 original toys I got, and they're sitting over there on the shelf. But yeah, so any book that's the book that kind of really kicked me into the collecting of comics.
That's so cool.
That is totally cool. My brother would be jealous. He had the entire action figure collection when we were little. Again, I was 68, so when it came out, I was 9.
Right.
And we were just fanatical about getting the comic, the toys. I had the album.
Oh, yeah.
It recited the movie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I completely can relate to how impactful that very first A New Hope was to our generation.
Yeah. And I mean, then you had Splinter the Mind's Eye that came out, that the book that was supposed to be the sequel, you know, but never really, you know, eventually got made into a comic book form. And so, but yeah, that was the book that kind of changed my life as a comic collector. So.
Man, that's so cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. So do you want to trade off questions, or do you want to just ask your 3? You want to trade off?
So you
Okay. So this is actually going to lead into something that you just said. So I knew you liked military and war comics, and I was going to say, so what's the appeal? Is it because you were raised as a military brat? That was going to be my follow-up. Were you Yeah, were you a military brat? But you've already answered that, so we know you were.
Yeah.
What branch? I'd be curious. And then, did that influence your love for that style of comic?
Yeah. So my grandfather, both grandfathers were Army, and my dad was Air Force. And then I was in the Marine Corps for a little bit. So it really, when you really were a little kid, you going into the PX and stuff like that, and they were all pretty prominently displayed, and just being around it 24/7, as a kid and stuff like that. It was what I knew, So
Yep.
yeah, so it really that really kind of set me on another path of collecting. And I didn't really start. I mean, I had varied books as I grew up and stuff like that, and you know, as a kid, they come, they go. I remember I used to, and people would probably freak out, and I'd cut the characters out, and play with them as little, here's Green Lantern flying through the air, make my own little comic scenes and stuff like that, But yeah, so it's always been the appeal of where I come from and the history of my family and stuff like that.
Awesome. That
Very
is,
cool.
yeah, no, that's really cool. I think that generational military service is so important too in many ways. And same, like I have one grandfather that was Navy, one was Marine, an uncle in the Air Force, uncle and another uncle in the Marines. My dad was in the Navy during Vietnam. So though nobody gave me any military comics, um, I was raised in a household where it was very military oriented, because even when my dad got out, he went into the FBI. So just kind of a different form of government discipline, right?
Yeah.
So I can relate to that type of household growing up in. You grow up in a, I don't want to say rigid, because I think that depends on the parent, really, but a structured childhood that a lot of kids outside of military families don't understand.
Right.
Because we're very much held to you got to get up at a certain time, meals at a certain time, that kind of thing. But it teaches you a respect at a young age for service, for our men and women in uniform and service to our country. I do think that is something that's still important even today, that families be generationally passing down that love of service.
Yeah, totally.
All right, you're up again, Krista.
Alrighty. Pull up my questions. Alrighty. If you are willing to answer, what would you say is your most prized comic in your collection? It doesn't have to be the rarest, but just what do you feel is like your most prized possession to you? It could be your rarest. This is where we go to a commercial break.
That's a really tough one. I do have several old books from the 1940s and such, where, and from the 50s. So the golden age of war comics are some of the prized ones that I have.
It doesn't have to just be one. Like you could say a couple.
Yeah, I think I have a 9/8 copy of Something's Killing the Children, issue number 1.
Ooh.
So that's my favorite, one of my favorite series. So that's a big one. I have Batman number 15, which is him and Robin, and they're shooting a machine gun.
Hmm.
And it's a classic cover. It's like, oh, Batman doesn't use guns, but it's an homage into World War II and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So,
That's very cool.
and I have a similar one with Captain Marvel. That just happens.
The Nightwing jacket.
The Nightwing jacket. I clocked it.
love the Nightwing
Oh,
jacket.
the Nightwing jacket, yeah. It's probably can't see it too well. It's Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Machine gun action.
Machine gun action. And it's all pictures of, you can't really see it. It's pictures of other comic books. That's going through, that's the ammo for the gun.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see. Here you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
A minute with Captain Marvel.
I love it.
The coloring on it is really good.
Yeah, you've taken good care of that.
And it's a 10 center from February. Let's see when that one is from. February 1943, February 17th.
Wow.
So any of those like that have like a history to them, the books the stories themselves are histories, but the time frame that they come in, that somehow there was, and I get sentimental. I think, somewhere there was, I want to think that some kid picked up this book off the newsstand, and one of my favorite, of course, the famous Pillow Biter cover.
Yep.
So, an infamous, great cover, and
Uncle Gary loves talking about that one.
Yeah. Mike Grell, the great artist and writer, did the backstory in here, and I have him. You can't see it well, but I have him autographed it, and it says, "I did not draw this cover." And then, so that's one of my favorite ones.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is great.
Anything off the wall, so like the Alf seal cover.
Yeah.
So I gave that one to Uncle Gary back when it was like $20. And of course now it's like $2.50 and stuff like that. I was like, damn.
Figure, right?
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, nice.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so my next question, you've already kind of answered, but I'm curious on how you got to be Gail Simone's handler, if you can tell us. Like, I know that if you work for some secret agency where you have to tell us, you have to kill us after, we'll give you a pass. But
how many children did you have to sacrifice?
Yes.
I sacrificed all the
and was it hard not to fan guy? Because you talk about how she's one of your favorite writers.
Yeah.
So, or the favorite writer. Was it hard not to fanboy, whatever you call it?
Yeah, fanboy. Yeah. So you've heard of All Star Comic Con before, the legends that is All Star Comic Con. The first year of the con, I got to work with Deechon Lockman from Dollhouse and Black Mirror. Was it Black Mirror? Dark Mirror or something like that. And so I got to work with her, which was really cool, and a couple different other ones. And Kevin and Mike McNutt knew that I had that I was pushing, for them to get Gail, and see if they could, so I digress a little bit, but before the year before. I was supposed to be working with Zazie Beetz from the Deadpool movie, but she canceled. So, which is okay because I hear she's a nut job. But yeah, so I had been kind of quasi stalking Gail online, just commenting on, posts and stuff like that, trying to get her. And then um, Mike came in one day and we were talking, and, I volunteered through the first one, been a part of the community, ready to do the second one. And then they sprung it on me that Gail was coming and that I could be her handler, because I knew that one, while I would fanboy to a certain degree, I would be, super professional, and such like that. So it really kind of came out of, being part of the community, doing a good job the first year. And then just got lucky that, I got to meet her and her husband, Scott, the rocket spouse. And really got to spend some time with them. I actually me and Gail are friends on Facebook, so I can message her, and as long as I don't do anything too crazy, too stalkerish, keep the fanboy side real down. But it's like when her new book came out, Ring, I sent her a message and said, "Hey, great, picked up the new book, really loved it," and stuff like that, and working on her to come out there. So it just kind of the luck of the draw, I think. But I mean, also I knew all of her history and stuff like that from all of the books that she had written and stuff like that. So, and it was cool because it really got to. She brings out such a great and diverse crowd of people. She speaks to the women who are comic book fans, because she's a comic book fan. But she also, she writes male characters extremely well.
She really does.
She really does. So it's she's just a great writer and just has so many different. God, I mean, I love the Batgirl run, the Birds of Prey run. Her run is Wonder Woman. All of her independent work that she's done. So it's it's an ongoing fandom, and hopefully I can spread the word, continue to spread the word, the gospel of Gail, and also, like I said, one day hopefully have her come into the shop and stuff like that, where I know that she would draw like a huge crowd.
I'll be at the front.
Yeah, because she doesn't come out to this place.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't come out. She lives on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Right.
She doesn't do a tremendous amount of cons. So, things have to really speak to her, I think.
She's our age, right, Mike?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. She's not a young little squire like.
Yeah. We're all getting old.
Look what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I envy you your 30s, Krista.
Yes.
I envy you guys. So now is not a good time to be young. So you're fine.
Yeah. All right. You're up next, Miss Krista.
All right. So my final question of the night.
Yes, I love you.
All right. End of show. That I already knew the answer to.
Yeah,
All right. What comics would you suggest to people who are just now getting into comics? What are some of your suggestions for people just getting into them?
I think Something's Killing the Children is a big one for me. Really love that book. a lot of independent stuff. Beneath the Trees, you know.
That would have been one of mine.
Yeah.
There's oh my god, I wish I knew the name of the book off the top of my head. But it's a book of with um, no words in it at all. It's a
Oh.
silent comic. God, I can't remember the name of it.
Farrell did an issue that was a silent issue that was amazing.
Yeah. It's a whole book. It's a whole miniseries.
I know it.
Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about, don't you?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a whole
All right,
miniseries, and not a single word was of dialogue in the whole book.
I'll remember it later, and I'll put it in the comments later.
Yeah.
I know it. That's a good one.
I think, the Universal Monster series has been really good. Several of them by James Tynion. I think it just came out. They're redoing the JLA Avengers, which is a classic book. And also, I think I would highly recommend like the DC Finest and the Epic collections from Marvel.
Ooh.
Because all these great older stories that people would never have a chance to pick up that are in these collected editions. You can really get an essence of, pretty much any character, in both the main publishing houses. So the Energon universe, that's a great one. The Transformers comics and Transformers toys were, came out after I had kind of gotten older and stuff like that. But I aged myself when my son is, when he was small, he had the Transformers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the G.I. Joe and Rom the Space Knight.
Oh my god.
My action figure here. So I think somebody put in there the action figures are supposed to be played with. Oh yes.
Yes. A toy is meant to be played with.
Toy is meant to be played with.
So,
yeah. So and that's the thing. There's so many stories out there that my first question is, what do you like? Do you want something, do you like horror books? Do you like military style books, science fiction? Do you like classic superhero tales? So and then I would recommend stuff that people probably wouldn't even recommend. There's a great story by Jeff Lemire, who's one of my favorite writers, called The Nobody. It's basically another take on the Invisible Man.
Yep. That's such a good one.
He is just,
I love his writing.
His writing is just so amazing. And I love his artwork too. I love when he does that. Uncle Gary can't stand his artwork, but he likes the writing. But yeah, so that's the first thing is what do you like? What are your topics that interest you? And then where do you go from there? Do you want to, do you like Harley Quinn? And what are the great Harley stories? I really don't. It's not my character and stuff like that, but I've read a lot of really good stuff with her. But it's just, there's so much, and I like one thing. I'm a history buff as well, so books like the history of the DC universe, will give you that story, of all those characters that you in a nutshell. So just different things like that. Just yeah. So I think I answered the question by not answering the question.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's totally okay.
Yeah.
And
that's the great thing about coming into the shop, and when I've had the chance to recommend things or to work in the shop at various times, it's like, hey, people are like, oh well, I like this, well, here we go. Let's walk over to this section of the shop, and we can find you, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you do that in the shop. You're a really good salesman.
I try to be. I can schmoz with the best of them, I think.
All right, that was my last question.
Yeah, and actually my last question kind of plays off of what you already talked about. So when my kids were little, I pushed them towards comics. My daughter loved Sabrina the Good Witch, and or Teenage Witch, and Betty and Veronica. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, huge in the 90s, as Krista can attest probably. Uh, and my son, it was Batman. And, I had him collecting action figures and comics, even young, Were you like that with your kids? Did
Oh,
you really
totally.
try to foster that love of comics with
Yeah.
them as
So
well?
I brought them as soon as I could, bring them into the store with me. I did. So my son continues till this day. He's like a Deadpool, Moon Knight, Black Panther. Those are his main characters that he really
Good one.
enjoys.
Mhm.
My daughter is more of a manga.
Mhm.
So
Manga.
she's Magna. I'm old.
Once
My son
upon
corrects me all the time too.
Yeah. So she, I still pick up a couple books for her. She's a big Spider Gwen fan, and we both love the book Monstrous. You know,
Mhm.
that's that's a crossover book, I think, between that anime style and then the comic book.
It
You
really
know,
is.
and so she collects those, but she's constantly online reading, whatever the latest Kinjitsu pop culture, ninjutsu. I, you know, um, trying to think, some of the. She was big into Naruto and big into um, a Full Metal Alchemist and
I
My
love
son
um,
that one
loves
too.
that one.
Fruit Baskets
Mm.
was.
Ooh, that's a late '90s one. That's
Yeah,
an
she
old
was big
school
into
one.
that one. Like
That was a
the
good one.
only I do have one collected series of manga books, and that's the um, shit. What's the name of that book?
Is it
Battle
Berserk?
Royal.
Oh, Battle Royal.
Battle
Mhm.
Royal. Yeah. So
Oh,
I have a full set of the books. So
nice.
it's pretty
Nice.
twisted. It's a
Hmm.
sick movie, but it's even the Japanese are really a sick, twisted people.
In the best way. It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. My son loves
Berserker.
Berserker.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the process of getting him the leather bound volumes.
Okay.
And I think there's 14 total so far, and I think we've gotten him through 10. So
16. I think there's 16.
16 now. That doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got him through 10, and it's like he gets 2 every birthday and 2 every Christmas. I said
Yeah.
eventually I'll get them all.
Yeah. And I used to take the kids to. We used to go to Baltimore Comic Con every year. We used to go to Wizard World up in Philadelphia
Mm.
um, for that, and we'd go to some of the smaller local ones. But now they're too. My daughter will care. You guys have met my kids, so
I love your daughter. I love your
yeah,
kids.
Yeah,
she's
they're awesome.
yeah. So I still, they're still very much into it. So, which is
That's
nice,
amazing. Yeah, no, it's wonderful to see that in the next generation. At least it is for me. So
Yeah,
I assume it is for you.
it is. Really.
I love that I passed on that love of reading and love of pop culture
Yeah.
and comics to the next generation. And with grandkids now, I'm hoping my daughter is going to foster the same love with her kids. So
If not, you will.
exactly. They
Yeah.
just need to come out with Toy Story comics because it's the only thing Jason is interested in right now.
We have Toy Story manga.
Oh, I might have to
Ooh,
check that out as long as it's not too,
spicy.
it's
Kid,
spicy.
it's kid manga.
Yeah, as long as it's all ages, it's good because he's He'll be 8 in November.
Okay.
So he's 7.
I will
But
get back to you on Wednesday. I will do some research for you.
yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow. So Mike, great interview. I love the answers to your questions. And congratulations on being the first to test out this new format.
Oh,
That we
sweet.
talked about on Wednesday doing. We
I
were
like it.
like, we need to be a little more structured, not talking over each other and that kind of thing. Have actual questions.
You guys have done great. I've watched every one of your episodes. You guys have
We
done
know you have. Thank
Yes,
you.
we cannot say how much we appreciate your support. It has been wonderful.
Yeah.
I always actually feel bad with the delay on Facebook because I always felt like we missed your comments until well after the fact, and I'd always feel bad about that. Oh my gosh. But no, we are so glad to finally have you here. And really, I found, I learned some new stuff. I didn't know that, Star Wars, you were one of those, like so many children of the 70s that was, so impacted by that first movie, by a Star Wars A New Hope, in a way that I don't think anybody, if for any of the other movies, can really understand what it was like for that first one. So no, I loved your answers. Speaking of movies, we can now move right into our pop culture segment.
Sweet.
Which we've kind of already talked about a little bit. But I thought we'd start out by talking about, what's coming out this year, the big Supergirl movie. Are you both looking forward to it? Are you enjoying James Gunn's version of the DC world?
I'll let Mike go first.
Yeah,
Sure.
Mike.
So I enjoyed Superman, the movie. I thought it was really good. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about the Supergirl one.
Yep.
Something about it doesn't sit with me. I think, well, for one, I think Jason Momoa is going to steal the movie.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
I mean, much like he did with Aquaman.
Yeah.
I think with Lobo, that character he was born to play, he's going to steal the whole movie away from her. But it's just something I recognize the actress from her time on
House of Dragons.
House of Dragons,
Yep.
Which she was very good at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know what it is. There's just something about her in this movie that makes me kind of just hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be great, because it, for the movie, if the movie's great, it's good for us. At the comic shop, it's good for us. It's good in general that,
it's
good
for the comic world in
it's
general.
good for the comic world that, if it's a good movie, so I'm cautiously optimistic on that one.
I have to reiterate something that you said. I don't even know if I'm cautiously optimistic. I liked her in House of Dragons, right? I do. However, I do not think she has the screen presence to lead a movie. My fear is exactly what you said. I think that is going to end up being a Lobo movie, even though that's not really what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Because he is so Jason Momoa, period, is such a draw, first of all, right? So many people loved him in Game of Thrones. They loved him in Aquaman. They loved him in the TV shows that he did. So he's a draw in and of itself. Name that Millie Alcott is not.
Right.
That's first off. And his personality, Jason Momoa's personality on screen, right, is a very, very large presence. And I have felt that. I've watched him in several different things outside of Game of Thrones. You know, yeah, he was great as Khal Drogo, but it wasn't a huge role.
Right.
The TV show C on Apple, where it's post-apocalyptic and everybody's blind, and then these two kids are born that can see, and that, you know, starts this chain reaction. But he plays one of the village leaders, and he's blind, and he's so good in it. And he was excellent in Frontier, right? Another miniseries that he did. Chief of War, which he just did on Apple, right? Stargate Atlantis. He chews up the screen in no matter what he does. He pulls attention to himself, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And I really think that might play against the hopes of this movie. I think I'm saying that right. You know, that like I think that that's going to be a disadvantage in this particular instance rather than an advantage.
Yeah, and something, brush her hair. You know, just brush her hair out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's got like this frizz, and it's just
Mhm.
like, you know, just brush your hair.
She's very, very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, wash your face, brush your
Wash
hair,
your face, brush your
teeth.
hair.
Yeah, you know, be our good
General
little Supergirl.
hygiene's very important.
Exactly.
Man, like, so I'm pretty excited for the movie. I especially after Superman, because I thought Superman was one of the best movies last year. I thought it did so well. So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't say I haven't contributed to it at all, but it does make me sad how many times people talk about Supergirl and the first thing that they talk about, like, out of their mouth is not the actress's name. They go straight to Jason Momoa.
Right.
And it's 100% sure. Like, they know that they're like, we need to find another draw for this movie because Superman was big, but Hollywood is very cautious about female lead movies and about actresses who are not, if you're not like Angelina Jolie or like Scarlett Johansson, like a big name, they're really, really cautious. So they have to throw a very well-seasoned actor in there to kind of go alongside to kind of like boost up. But like you were saying, kind of steal the spotlight.
Right.
Jason Momoa is a big person and a big personality. I love Jason Momoa.
Mhm.
I can't say that I'm not looking forward to him being Lobo, but I do think that is kind of what is going to affect Supergirl's reviews and revenue. I definitely think is the fact that Hollywood is kind of scared of young women.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So that is why I'm a little cautious about it, because I'm not cautious necessarily about the movie. I think that the tone of the trailer doesn't match how the story is going to be. So they're definitely driving a very specific like tone with like the lighting and the sound, like the music and the sound effects. I'm like, I feel like that's not the movie we're going to watch. That's definitely not how it was advertised at first.
Right.
So I'm a little nervous.
And it's not really what the story Woman of Tomorrow is.
Well,
either.
It's based on that. Doesn't mean they're using the full story of it.
True.
Always
Tom
a problem.
King is helping them write the screenplay, though, so you would think they'd stay relatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I do think that you make an excellent point about young women and being able to lead a movie, and so they got Jason Momoa, and I to Mike's point that he said in when he was speaking, this is a role Jason was born to play. In a way, he was never, to me, I didn't hate him as Aquaman, but every time he was on screen, he just so didn't look like any Aquaman that I had ever seen anywhere in any comic or cartoon that I was like, he's not Aquaman.
True.
You know? So, but yet he's a perfect Lobo, right?
Oh, yeah. I have no issue with him being Lobo. And in the Superman movie, he had a whole bunch of cameos, like, you know, with people who like Nathan Fillion, who was just born to play like Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
There were some like spot on like cameos and like people coming in, and I have no problem with that. But it's the fact that they keeping Supergirl movie and then Lobo, and then the trailers are getting more like the percentage of Lobo in the trailers versus Supergirl are getting a little bit higher in his favor. So we have a Supergirl trailer that is about 5 seconds of her. If it's like a 30-second commercial, it's like maybe 10 seconds of her and then like 20 seconds of him.
Right.
Right. But I
And
think
I'm
it
like, I
goes
get
back
it,
to
but
what you were saying about name recognition. He's the name recognition.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who she is. They might recognize her face from that first season, but I mean, even, you know, she was only even the character for half of a season. And then they, you know, they aged her up and cast Emily Darcy. So I do think that they, you know, that it's a big, you know, he's the big name draw. I'm hoping that, and I don't mean this the way it sounds, but I'm hoping that the movie's good enough that she shines above him
I think she will.
rather than ride his coattails.
Honestly, the 10 seconds we got of her at the very end of Superman sold me. I'm just like, that's hilarious. She came in for like 10 seconds and she was super snarky, and you like understood everything about her from that 10-second interaction of like her personality, her wit, and like even just what Clark was even saying about her. I'm just kind of like, I understand this Kara perfectly, and I love her. So I think she's gonna do a good job.
Yeah.
For me, it's just going to come down to the writing and the editing, because those are what really kill a movie. I think the actors are all like pretty good. It's all going to depend on how it flows.
Agreed. Agreed. Last thing, I go still in the movie thing, but are you as excited for Doomsday?
No.
No? Not at all?
You know, we skipped over Spider-Man, you know, the
Yeah,
Spider-Man movie that's coming out.
I'm more excited about that than I am about Doomsday.
I guess I really don't know anything about Doomsday. You know, I don't know what the story is going to be. I love the character of Doctor Doom. I was a huge, you know, if you, I think there's a collected edition of Doctor Doom versus Mr. Fantastic, all their greatest epic battles that just came out recently.
Yep, we have it in the shop,
which I highly recommend. They have some classic battles. I love the character. I just want to see what they're going to do and how they're going to do it.
And they've been very vague. I mean, even all of the teasers and all of the trailers have given you nothing.
I think we're waiting until Spider-Man comes out. I have a feeling that the like after credit scene of Spider-Man is going to be like the trailer for Doomsday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that.
What do you think about Downey Jr. doing it, the character? I'm not. It's got a multiversal kind of ring to it, you know, to have him be that character.
Wasn't there a comic run that had them basically kind of switch places?
Yeah.
He's done it before.
Right. Yeah. So I personally think that that's what they're going to be doing. That they're going to maybe not that specific storyline verbatim, right? But I think that they're going to give us hints of that storyline, along with, I think that this is going to be building towards the House of M, because wasn't it Dr. Doom that actually influences Wanda to saying no more mutants and all of that? And so I think that they're Marvel, the executives are setting up the big picture, haul movies down, you know, for another decade, right? But I think that there's going to be glimpses of different, that they're going to be kind of conglomerating a bunch of different storylines. If they don't do that, like if it's literally not that one story where these this character is these two characters are basically the same person, right? In different universes or however it was written. I haven't read it, so I can't speak to it with, a lot of knowledge. But if they don't, I find that people are just going to be lost on why does Doomsday look like Iron Man?
Yeah.
Didn't Iron Man die?
Yeah.
And that is a huge part of why I hate the casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Victor Von Doom is one of my all-time favorite, if not possibly my favorite comic book character. I love his lore. I love his story. All the different versions of it are still really good.
Yeah.
The movies have never really gotten it right, but they'd still kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think I've been going on rants about this. I'm going to try to keep my soapbox moment very minimum. But essentially having RDJ will take away from Victor's story. So is he just going to be a RDJ, like a Tony variant? Because that's gonna take away from the whole Doom aspect, and it's just like it's just to bring out the emotion of seeing Tony again.
Yeah.
Or is it like is he just a variant, or is it like you were saying, because Doom has jumped around from like Tony to Rocky Raccoon? Whoever has the information and the knowledge he needs, he has jumped around before in a comic series. He's been Reed a couple of times,
Right.
vice versa. So either way, no matter what it is, I'm not happy with RDJ because it's going to take away from actual Doom. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to get Doom's story probably very well. And anytime you see him, you're just going to think Tony. So it kind of messes with both characters. So I think it's kind of lazy casting, kind of we're trying to get in the nostalgia and get people to come to our movie. So we're going to give you back RDJ. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I think the only thing in my eyes that can do that is if RDJ's screen time is very limited.
Yeah.
If he's limited to a few minutes of the movie and then all of a sudden, then we get a story where he's disfigured and then he gets into the armor and I don't see RDJ. I may hear his voice, but that, as long as it's Doom, it's not, him. We have a whole movie of him being without the armor,
Right.
And it's going to be interesting because in the after credits scene of Fantastic Four, you literally see Franklin reaching for his face and Doom is holding the mask to the side. So he's touching like his face.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm curious. I don't know. Did you see Fantastic Four yet?
I have not seen it yet either. I've been really bad.
Okay, first of all, spoiler alert. Second of all, we're doing a double feature apparently.
Double feature.
Yeah, it's so
because Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four actually works perfectly, so we will do that.
It really does.
All right.
Don't forget the TV back up in the shop. You and I are having a movie night.
All right, I'm in.
I have big feels about it. I'm not sure how they haven't told us what the movie's about.
Right. That's I think the weirdest thing. Like in all the other movies that Marvel has put out, they've given you an idea of what it is. They're really keeping this one
nothing.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like Marvel forgot they were having a Spider-Man movie coming out this year until like 2 weeks ago, and now they won't stop reminding you.
Yeah.
I feel like, everyone else feel that way, where I'm just like, I saw nothing about the Spider-Man movie to the point where I kept forgetting it was even coming out. And then now I can't walk anywhere without seeing a Spider-Man trailer or ad.
Yeah, I think they were waiting for Punisher. And because Punisher features so prominently, supposedly, in the Spider-Man movie, I really think that they were trying to get Daredevil season 2 and the Punisher special, and all of their press was featured on that. And now that's been 3 weeks out since Punisher dropped, right?
I didn't think of that.
Now they can shift their advertising to the next big thing, which is Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I am looking for. I did not mind Tobey Maguire and I didn't mind Andrew Garfield, but I have loved Tom Holland. I like his the best.
I don't think there's actually been a bad Spider-Man.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
They just all come at him from different angles.
Yeah, the one that was in the 70s, the live action one in the 70s, where he was like a 30-year-old man, but we were playing the actor was like 30 years old, but we were
Yeah.
supposed to believe that he was a 19-year-old college kid.
You want to talk Grease?
Well, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
We're all
problem.
50 years old.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, what was Stockard Channing? 32. She was
Yeah.
the oldest of the cast, but she was 32. Everybody else was like over 25.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I think that we're only just now seeing the advertising for Spider-Man. It's because they were spending all of their time boosting Daredevil season 2 and all of the things that are coming out of that. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, the bringing back of the Defenders. They wanted that to be the conversation. Then when that ended, now we want the conversation to be all about Frank Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And now that that's ended, now we can go focus on Spider-Man. Speaking of, I did finally get through all of Punisher, and the thing with the dog that upset me so bad at the beginning is justified and corrected by the end. So
Okay.
I stand corrected in that there was no purpose to it.
Right.
But it wasn't bad. I mean, it's very difficult to figure out. Like they lied. They told us they were going to show us how he got out of the cage that Fisk had him in at the end of Daredevil season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get any of that. He's already out and back on the street by the time the new show starts. But
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the movie. I was reading today that Ned gets kind of an upgrade to in what he's getting, like he's starting to put together who Spider-Man is, which is supposed to play into everybody's lost their memory.
Right.
So, but he's supposed to be pretty prominently featured in this new one. And I love Ned. So
He's always a good actor.
He's
Yeah.
the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great question. Fuzzy Walk wants to know if we've collected any of our favorite comic book heroes in other mediums, toys, music, video games.
Yes. Look behind me.
Yeah. Catwoman, whole shelf.
We got Nightwing all over the place, the Bat Family all over the place. Yeah. So
I think I have about 8 Harley statues, and I have.
Hey, Chad, welcome.
Hey, Chad.
he tried.
I think I'm only missing 2 or 3 different Harley Quinn Funko Pops. Other than that, I have almost all of them.
Nice.
I would have had them, but I lost bidding wars on like eBay.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much.
And that was almost like one of those moments where you're like, oh, I need to like actually calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm
most
literally
of the-
fighting people on eBay at 3 a.m. I'm like, oh, maybe I should like not be buying as many pops.
Yeah, I have most of the action figures for Nightwing that he's ever, if not almost all of them that have come out, except for one, which is it's the blue version of the Kurabasi or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blue version, which is
Yeah.
like $400. So if I can find it cheaper than that, which I doubt I'll ever find it. So yeah, no, I have the books, I have the movies, I have the video games. My son is playing I saw the Batman Lego video game.
I want to play it so bad.
It's so much fun. And
Did you play the Catwoman Nintendo game back in the early 90s?
I did not.
It was so fun.
Yeah, I waited for. I didn't get the one game where you can play as like Nightwing or Red Hood or Batgirl or Damien and something like that. I can't remember what game that was, but
I can't remember what it was either.
Yeah.
I have not played Arkham Knights, although I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, me too.
I love the Arkham games.
And but yeah, I have action figures, I have statues, I have comics, I have the trades, I have hardbacks and paperbacks of the trades, especially for Catwoman. I have every iteration, all of those action figures that they put out of the Jim Ballant version, and I have like a special collector's edition with 24 karat gold from the Warner Brothers
Ooh.
Batman the Animated Series. I have a cookie jar from Batman the Animated Series. It's the Catwoman cookie jar. Yeah, I posters on the walls.
Yeah.
My newest thing is I got all of the that came out this year. I got all of the foils and all the symbols for all the titles that I get, and I put them across the back wall. So yeah, I like Krista, I'm working on getting all the Catwoman Funko Pops. I just got Catwoman the Bombshell one. I got that at Big Lick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And so that was nice. That was the one. So I did need 6. Now I only need 5 to have all of the ones that they've done of Catwoman. Yeah. So yeah, definitely music. I'm trying to think. I don't have any like Catwoman specific music, but I role play Mira and I role play Oracle, and I have Spotify playlists for both of them. So like my Mira one is all like witchy siren type music, all water based, and my Oracle one is very techno, house, emo, some tribal.
Music. I have the soundtrack to the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
Ooh.
I have those still in their CD case and everything. Which is weird to say, that's such an old-fashioned sentence, but I still have a whole entire rack of CDs, and I have that, and I have some of them have just like really, really good like soundtracks. Last few decades to be more socially acceptable.
Oh, another great question.
I would say, one, don't be ashamed by your collection. You know, find that audience, like the people you're talking to right here, you know,
Yeah.
and share your collection with other people. You know, there's nothing I think all of us enjoy more than sharing what we have, and showing the pieces of art and the action figures and the comics and the different, you know, Dave Stevens covers and George Perez covers that I have, or, you know, Alex Ross, you know, I have an Alex Ross plate, you know, of the new Teen Titans. You know? So it's, don't be ashamed of your collection. Embrace it. Love it. I mean, let your freak flag fly, you know.
Amen. I was just going to say that. Don't be afraid to be who you are.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not, if you're being shamed for being a comic geek or pop culture geek, go out to your local comic book shop and join that community. And I know that sounds so easy. Some people are shy, and going out and meeting new people is really hard. Just walk into the store. Buy a comic. You know, you don't have to be the bubbly, you know, saying hi to everybody in the store. But once they see your face there every Wednesday, and you start to get to know the people around you, all of a sudden you'll realize that you have an entire community around you that you didn't even know. I mean, I only moved here 3 years ago, you know, and in 3 years have built this like vast community of friends and comic collectors and people that I enjoy doing things with and talking to things about. So, like we always say, no kink shaming here, right? No geek shaming either. No kink shaming, no geek shaming. You know, keep coming and watching us. Go watch Codex.
Yeah, and if there are
people, there's lots of people in this community who will support you.
Yeah.
and so many creators are so friendly. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. You can follow them. I don't quite stalk Gail like Gary, like Mike was saying he does, but at the same time, I do watch what she's posting. Always comment. Um, uh, uh, Jorge Jimenez, talking about how much we love his work.
Yeah.
He's always thanking me personally. Like when I say,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, I love the cover that and what you were doing in this month's Batman." They are Babs and Teeny were so wonderful about talking to their fans while Sirens was coming out. So the community's there. They're friendly. They're open.
Yeah.
They'll embrace you. You just have to give them the opportunity to do so. At least that was my experience.
Yeah.
What's
Definitely.
also really good for people as well are events like our LotCon.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you if you want to do it at your own pace, if you kind of want to kind of tiptoe into a community, honestly, I would try going to a small local convention.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good way to kind of go. You can go table to table and meet people. You can observe their table, be like, oh, that's stuff that really interests me. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And there's most likely going to be someone who's standing at the booth doing the same thing, or there's going to be people at the booth, they would love to talk to you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that kind of stuff is also really cool. It's why LockOn is one of my favorite things we do all year, because it brings out so much community. And I will have people who've never been in the shop before will come in and be like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I wish I had this, at my old town.
Yeah.
Or I'm really starting to get into comics and they start coming every week or however often they're able to come. The amount of times I would pitch them LotCon or Big Lick.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, I didn't even know about that. That's so cool. And then they come back and I'm like, all right, so how was it? And then they give me names of people that they met and the networking and how cool and fun it was.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there is a community, and it doesn't always have to be so, like, sometimes it can be overstimulating, but just kind of going at your own pace is also really
100%. 100%.
Wednesday's the big fun day at the shop, but even if you come in on like a slower day, just so you can kind of ease your way into it as well. Whatever day of the week works best for you guys. But
Sometimes the slower days are nice too, because you might be the only person in the store, which means if you have questions, then Vince or Krista or John or Katie, whoever happens to be working that day at Comic Logic, for example, they can spend the time to ask you, like Mike was saying when he was talking about first thing I would do, would say, what do you like? And that is usually the first question they'll ask you. What's your thing? What do you like reading about? And then you can have that conversation. And sometimes it's easier to have that conversation when the store's slower, instead of like new comic book day 10 minutes after they've opened the door when it's a little crazy.
I'll tell you, I have one of the sweetest regulars. He comes in every week, and he comes in on Monday afternoon generally, because he's come in on Wednesday before, but he has really bad social anxiety. And Wednesday's very, very fast paced. So he likes to come in on Monday so that because he will ask me questions, and he'll be like, are you about the specific cover? Or do you know when this is coming out? Or just to kind of walk around. He likes just vibing in the store. He buys stuff, but he likes vibing. And I'm so glad that we're like that kind of comfort safe space for him.
Yes.
But I like that he has learned that coming in on Monday is the best day for him, because that is the day. It's a little bit on the slower side.
Yeah.
So, because it's the first day of the week. So I like the fact that he feels that he is safe and encouraged to come in. And he went to LockCon and had a lot of fun, which is very, very good. And so there's stuff like that. So, just finding your rhythm and finding your kind of group and how you want to do it. Some people want to go in and just have like a whole group immediately, which is awesome. But some people need to do it at a slower.
Some people need to go in toe first and then foot first. And
I'm a cannonball person, but that's just I'm always trial by fire.
I'm kind of in the middle.
But some people like to go at their own pace, and I
Absolutely.
respect it across the board. However you want to do it.
100%. So, Fuzzy Wuck, I hope we answered that question satisfactorily
Yes.
for you. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up here. We're already at 9:17. So, Mike, we're going to ask you the big three. I know you've basically already answered one out of the three, but we ask everybody who comes. We want to know the name of your favorite female comic writer, which we already know is Gail Simone because you've said that like several times.
I have?
Yes.
Yes, wait, 5 times
we
more.
love that so much because I love her. I love her writing so much. Favorite female artist and favorite female character. And it doesn't have to be Marvel or DC or independent unless you want to break it out per publisher, but that's up to you.
Yep. So my favorite female artist is Amanda Connor. Love Amanda. Love her work.
She
I
is
love her
very
husband
popular.
too. Yeah. So she's my favorite. She's one of my favorites. My favorite character is probably Erica Slaughter.
I knew it.
I know.
Killing the Children.
Yeah.
If I had to pick the superhero character, it would be Babs. It would be
Oracle or Batgirl. You're not sure.
Oracle, Batgirl. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
It would probably be Oracle because I just really love the character.
I
love the whole watchtower aspect. The whole she's
Mhm.
into everything and she's
knows everything, has an eye on everything. That's yeah.
So as far as Marvel, I'm not as big a fan of it anymore as I used to be. But probably Magic. Ever since
I knew you were going to say that.
Ever since she was a little kid, got sucked into limbo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those probably be my three characters for, independent, DC, and Marvel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it so much. Excellent choices all. I'm gonna have to do some more research on Amanda because everybody just about has picked her.
Yeah.
Which I find really interesting.
Yeah, she's got some great stuff out there.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna have to check her out.
Yeah.
Because because you, Gary, Dan, Sal, Sunny.
Really? Everybody said Amanda.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, which I think is great. I think that's great.
Cool.
Did one of my favorite Harley covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Mike, we loved having you.
I loved being on the show. I really appreciate it.
We're gonna have to do it again sometime.
Sure.
You a great person to interview, very entertaining. I loved your answers for just about every question. So no, thank you again for hanging out with us, Loco Sirens. Krista, A1, A+ on starting us out. Her very first.
I did it.
She did our intro. Very proud of you. And I really like this new format. So I think we're going to do it. No, I do. I like it a lot. So not sure. Oh, Alan is next week, right? From Green Archer.
Will either be with us next week or the following week. I need to double check with with Green Archer Comics. Will be on either next week or the week after.
Yes, and we are super excited for that. So actually our first actual comic creator interview. So we're really looking forward to that. Again, Mike, thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Bottom of our hearts for joining us on Loco Sirens.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Everybody out in the internet land, thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed our show as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We will see you next week. Same siren time, same siren channel. See you in the funny papers, folks.
Bye, everybody. God bless.
Bye, everybody.